from Zoom.
Test, test, test.
Yep.
Test, 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 test. Now, do I need to watch chat or will?
No, because it's not live. We're just recording this for later.
Gotcha.
So you just have to present and talk to the room. And we'll record it.
This PowerPoint is very basic.
There you go.
And $2.
Okay,
Okay.
you're ready.
Not about. Yep, you're fine. I will warn you though, you will be directly on camera.
He's used to it. Galen, you'll probably have to chime in a lot because I don't know anything technical, so. Oh, do you like how it's transcribing me? Turn that off. I don't know if PowerPoint did that, did you? I had no idea. Love it. We don't start till 2:45, right? Perfect. It will not be an hour. We'll get out early, guys.
You're the best teacher.
So I was shocked in the whole presentation the Galen did, all the items that have no age-old protection. And so the majority of the consortium does not have an age-old protection. So, you know, I went for 63, on some of my staff members of mine. We cannot believe you're doing this. You're gonna kill our collection. What are you talking about? And I'm still, we're gonna go to a month because even if we're about this too long.
Yeah.
Because they just don't.
Yeah.
Even if you can't get our copy, if everybody starts producing or waiting, you get somebody else. I was so surprised.
No, it is, you know, this will fall for that, maybe it's a conference or systematically taking. You don't have to do that because, you know, if the production expires.
Right.
But I would say some others in the name of this props. Periodically go in. So the number I showed on slide, maybe it's number. Yeah. But probably not the case.
Right. The new show. Because that they equate that everything has to come off the new show. Things are new show again.
Right.
You can say I'm there.
From going from 6 to 3, we really haven't noticed any lacking of having the people.
Your new show needs to be a whole time now. It's not 4 days of movie.
Yeah,
And
right.
they sold
Yeah.
If we want it.
That's right.
You know, one will show, I'm so good, so no move, right?
Right.
Well, and of course, yeah. Stream like this is, probably that's perfectly unused, hasn't so shown.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why I say it's a good sign when you come in and you're simply, because that means it's hitting you.
It's getting used, right? Do you want to learn and?
But they didn't.
Sometimes they want to see.
I-
They like it very orderly, very quiet, can't be,
Yeah.
very.
A lot of people libraries, so
They really do.
they want to get that.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, well, so they were put into Harold, the Washington. So we're building, but most of our own inside. And I listened to that, my gut reaction the first time I saw it is, wow, it's a two for books. Because, yeah,
It feels very.
in practice, it's,
Right.
say perfectly good, name, city range, city authority. But I did actually find the off for the.
Yeah.
And it would be, it's a little leverage, you're right. And I love that, like the marble, and it is a little heavy. But it's true. I haven't thought about it.
We have a lot of kids from the campus, and we have a huge library there, but it's more modern. And I think that say that it's the artist feels like, I guess they're lead time library, because it's so sprained, I guess. Yeah.
Yes. University, state conversion has plenty. I think that's very locally, what do we do with it? Because kids are using it and it's just sitting there, so then how do you reimagine it? How? Kids will use it and be engaged.
Yeah, yeah. Just some ideas I could share with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think opposite, I think I would want. Engagement for kids, it's pretty nice, so I think it's not reason. You can do so much. Book clubs and,
Yeah.
you know.
You know what's been really trying to get our places almost, I think call it a silent book club. Like when I was doing high school, they call it an activity club. So you just kind of come and you're meeting with a bunch of people, but it's not like a social thing. You understand? That's gonna be common. Just kind of like to meet up.
So you're basically just bringing the book together.
Yeah. And just saying, hey, you need a snack, tell me what you're reading. That's what I've always been. Yeah. Yeah, and then you give them, bean bags, I have bean bags, what's my name, we used to make, forts, and, grams and stuff, they're just.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. They are, you're right.
Yeah.
I know sleepy.
Yes. Gosh, you miss teenagers, did you teach little ones?
I did both. I did both.
Both.
Yeah, I did both. We've not done this here.
We like, oh my gosh, they're so tiny. Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the one.
The system works against you in so many ways too, you know what I mean, like, when I first started. Inside, a beautiful day and reading your lessons.
Do so much to that with
It's tests.
everything. That's why this.
We used to do a readathon where kids could raise money in the library and talk about classic all day. That side, that was very. No, no.
He said. That's the education part of this, memory.
Everybody.
Well, that was one thing. So I.
Yes, I
Yes. The class. Especially in the set, yeah, it's weird, because there was a lot of collaborative.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. They start dragging on other trees and like attention.
Yeah.
Sad.
Well, but I'm also.
Firefighting.
That's what I'm not aware.
For teammates, for area for kids, there's umbrellas and seating.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to wrap.
I know, but every time we try to use it, it's a little bit. We have a courtyard.
Yeah, we
So, like,
do a little, yeah.
outdoor seating,
Yeah.
Terry's always like, no, we can't have it. Like the, kind of like the sharing store and kids, little ones can sit on.
Oh, yeah.
There are a couple different types of things. Honestly, they fit together like American pieces. They don't take up a lot of space. Yes. Yes. So we use those sometimes for storage.
Everything in your square. That's right. I'm going back for wow. I thought I saw glitter. I thought, oh shit, I heard glitter gun. I'm just kidding. That'd be like Galen's book cannon. Does it have a teacher cannon, a book cannon, and events? It's only banned books, that's right.
Hardcovers.
Hardcovers, yeah. So I did a tour.
Yes.
My folder doesn't work. Our local, for this like community tour, we're going through, we're tutoring. Oh my God, it's probably a teacher, and she has big municipal.
Two other people. In St. Louis. April.
She said, why?
On a robot. And I'm just like to be at the front.
That's the law. You have to get books.
There's no doubt. I think that's what was the part of the fun aspect of it.
She's written down the
She's like, oh my God. She said, that's.
I used to teach, so that's. Oh, yeah.
We can talk about other things too, that sound ridiculous. More minutes.
There's someone again. And I'm not.
Yeah, girls are all.
Like, lots of very.
Yeah, and the first thing I had.
Yeah, that's so sad that you did that. But he's still around.
Yeah.
They got raised for each other, and then they didn't say that. I don't know, she said.
I do that as well.
Yeah.
It's usually, you know, necessarily.
That whole crossword makes you think that-
There are days I go to the grass fair.
Yes, yes, yeah. All right, I guess we can go ahead and get started, everybody. It's about 2:44. Start a minute early and you just get out quicker. Isn't that great? Well, I'm Greg Carter. I'm the director at the West Plains Public Library. If you don't know where West Plains is, join the rest of the world. West Plains is an hour and a half southeast of Springfield. And so we're just a small community, about 12,000 in our population. Had a facility built in '98. So far, our library's been loved so far. So we'll see if we can keep the trend going. But we were privileged to be able to have a K-PAC. So when we joined Missouri Evergreen in 2024, the K-PAC was one of those things that I hadn't considered until it was already gone. So we were TLC before, and those that have been with TLC, I don't know how many in the room had TLC. TLC had a really great children's catalog and a really great children's search feature built into that product that I never really considered. And when we switched over to Missouri Evergreen, parents were like, "Hey, what happened to the children's catalog?" And I thought, "Oh, I hadn't thought about it." Because what was on our computers in our children's department was just the regular catalog, right? And I'll never forget at that time, Freedom and Fabulous, the teacher came out with the knife and the apple. The parents, I just don't, love my kids seeing some of those images on the cover of the adult books. I said, "Oh, okay." So I emailed Rogan, Hamby, with Equinox, and Rogan said, "Tell you what, let's build you something, and we will just use that as a test for the whole consortium." And so we were able to test the K-PAC originally in our system. So when talking about the K-PAC, a committee was formed that was made up of myself, Rebecca Buckley from Rolla, who was also a school librarian, as well as I was as well, Liz, Galen, who am I forgetting? Is that it? Steve Potter, of course, because of Evergreen. Was Rogan on our committee? I don't think so. I think it was just us. Yeah, I think it was just us. Yeah. So we started meeting as a committee to sort of talk about what this is going to look like consortium wide, and what do we want as far as the search terms, and we'll go through some of those. I wanted to just show you our K-PAC, and my screen is mirrored, but it didn't pop up. So let's scooch it over so you guys can see that. So this is what West Plains ended up with our ridiculous logo. Today, I hate our logo, by the way, and it was my little acquiescence to the city of West Plains to play ball that I would use their logo. I despise it. And today, for those that watch The Righteous Gemstones on HBO, Steve Potter goes, "It kind of looks like the Gemstone Ministries logo," which makes it even worse. I'm like, thank you, Steve. So this is the opening site. And so basically Rogan said, "Okay, Greg, we have these topics here because we wanted something very simple for kids to be able to, especially if they're not reading." So for this K-PAC, we're talking K4, maybe K5. And so I told Rogan I really wanted images to be that even the students that aren't reading or kids could see that picture and go, "Oh, crafts," or "Oh, I see a ball. Those books are about sports." That they can click on a logo and then it pulls up the books in that category. So sort of like a genreified system for the catalog. And so Rogan asked me to find some duty-free images that we could just pull to use for free. So these are just clip art images that for the purpose of the test site we pull. These will not be what you have eventually when you sign on. This will be what you have at the top. So that was actually our little children's mascot, Dewey the library cat. He's a voracious letterbox user, so I'm so sorry that all of you get to take on Dewey. But anyway, so this part should look the same. I believe, if I'm correct, these categories will be the same, but the images will be different on the test site. So just so you can kind of see when you click on so here's award winners. So I asked Rogan when we developed this, it's a little slow. For the Mark Twains, the Show Me's, that we could have a section. We did Caldecott, we did Newberry. So when students click on the Show Me books,
within this subcategory, it should pull up the Show Me Picture books so that they can easily find those. So everything in our search categories, at least for West Plains, and I don't know eventually for the libraries, if you want your YA built into this, our YA is not built into this. So YA uses the adult catalog. We don't have, we're not supposed to have YA material in this. Sometimes YA materials will leak over. We have a new middle school section called the middle MID. Sometimes those show up in our junior catalog here, and they should be separate too. But anyway, so that kids can then find books they want, and they can click get it, and then they can place a hold directly from that screen. Yes.
Do you have to really change these every year, like every time you do this, it's out for you, or?
Hopefully, because they're tied to the catalog, they will automatically rotate. They'll probably just stay in truth. I don't know that they'll come out of the list every year. It may just compound. It'll just grow. The list will just grow. So there could be multiple, there'll be multiple years in those award categories. And I think, did we just decide to stick to Mark Twain, Show Me? Did we decide to do Caldecott and Newberry too? Okay. So those will be the award categories, and they'll just continue to add as it goes, if that makes sense. Right. And I will show you the test site, and we'll look at some of the images as well, so you can kind of get an idea of what you're going to end up with. Let me find the mouse. I wanted it to mirror, not extend, and it didn't ask my opinion. Sorry, guys. There it is. Okay. But first I think I have to, there it went. So I'll show you the test site. I have to be back in the presentation. Drag it back over. So this is the test site right now that Galen says is going live in a few weeks, which I was like, hot dog, that's quick. So here's what we have right now for our categories, and all these will have images attached to them. We're working on the images right now. They'll sort of be cartoony and colorful. Anything else you can say about the images that resonates?
Yeah, the general idea with the images is to target not the younger age group. So we're working with a graphic designer to select. I mean, the first iteration that's perhaps a little too schematic or graphic. So we've thought that we're going to be I will say that trying to figure out the best image for runs.
Hold on, I'll show you if I can get it pulled across. What a nightmare. Sorry, guys. Now this should just come across. Maybe I need to. They just made it worse. I just want to pull this across, and I want to go. Well, it won't go, guys. But essentially, so for example, when you think animals, it'll be a paw print, like a dog print, in different colors. Or if you think cooking, cooking might be pictures of food. Or rhymes and riddles might be the cow jumping over the moon, an image of the cow jumping over the moon. What's some other examples? History and geography will more than likely be like a globe.
Series looks like a list.
Series looks like a list of lines. So that and then when kids click on series, then Liz has been gracious enough to come up with, yeah. Liz has been gracious enough to come up with character images from the book series themselves so that kids can see, oh, that's Wimpy Kid from Outer Wimpy Kid, or oh, that's so an example is Captain Underpants. There he is in his underpants flying around. So they'll have all these images that kids can click on to know that's their favorite character. So here's kind of, you can't see this very well, and I apologize, I can't get the screen to work. They won't be that color. We thought that was a little too neon, and so I think they're working on a different set of more primary color instead of neon. So that would match the, the aesthetic of the K-PAC better. But again, the whole idea is so that, and they do, so that kids can come in the library, set up the computer and do this themselves, and our kids do all the time. They come in, they sit down, they navigate this very easily with very little help. We don't have to help them that much. Now, when it comes to placing the hold, mom and dad help them place the hold, right? They help them put the library card number in. But it's just wonderful that they can come in, click on these categories, mess around, find the books they want. And then we help them find them in the library, but this is very user friendly for children, it really is. Yes,
So this may not be the right place to ask this, but so do we put a link to this off? Say we use Aspen, do we put a link to the kids catalog there, or is this like just on a computer?
so with
So
Aspen, I
instead
don't know
of
how
having-
that'll work with Aspen, so ours is a separate link. We preload this on our kids' computers, almost like a kiosk mode.
Okay.
Now, sometimes they click and they can get off back to the main adult catalog, and I have to go back over to the computer, put it back on the kids' catalog for them if they get it clicked off.
Okay,
But right now for us, it's two separate links. Kids catalog, adult catalog.
and home access.
And I would just say it's under a preliminary choice about how you choose to expose it. You know, just make printing that you can offer now. And website will ask that you correct it over another way. Or if you want to focus it more as a thing that you primarily expose on your children's computers inside the library. You could do it that way, without that. This way every officer could think that.
So here's kind of what we have for a series, just so you can see that. But you have these different, bad guys, Captain Underpants, Dogman, Harry Potter, Little House, Wings of Fire, Percy Jackson, Pink Delicious, Owl Diaries, Narnia, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. And then kids could click on that, and then all the bad guy series is in one site for them. And they'll see an image of those characters, not them who see this. They'll see an image of those cover characters on that. So again, for kids that aren't reading yet, they can just literally image search and go through and find the books they want. Yes, ma'am.
Is it just books at your local library?
Consortium one.
Earlier you mentioned sometimes you have to.
Yeah,
How reliable is it to justify?
it's been very reliable, although recently, so it's just been me emailing support and saying, hey guys, I'll show you an example. I was looking through today and I found some YA in our fairy tales. Fairy tales has been one they've been more likely to bleed through. Which again, there's no YA cover that just looks, awful, but. So for fairy tale. Come on. There we go. So there's a couple of YA titles here. So this one's slipped through. So when I notice these, I just email support or Rogan, right now Rogan, and say, hey Rogan, we had a couple of YA, and even mid, I don't mind mid so much, because there's really more of the YA material. Hey Rogan, some YA slipped through again, can you fix those?
Is it based on shelf?
It should be based on shelving location that they have in their system, I believe, yes.
So
Because I told them all I want is junior. So we have junior picture books, junior fiction, junior audio, junior video. That's all I wanted to pick up. And that's what it has been picking up. But again, for some reason recently, some of these YA books not again.
So it might be catalog.
Right, could be.
You know, and in a particular, the way it's set up by the poll is it's looking at the environment, audience, so not the one. So if there's either a mistake on that or somebody mismerges, that's one way to slip in. There are additional possibilities to do things like limited to specific shopping applications. So I think that's where, when it comes time to roll this out to the progress, there may be some discussion with Steve and Chris and committees about options to include at least state. Because my understanding of this particular iteration is this is meant to be a starting point at a default for all members. But that there would be developed for I will also mention, by the way, that there will certainly be the possibility, in addition to the consortium wide central catalog, to reach libraries, Evergreen, OPAC, E3 point, to have it just scoop automatically to that particular library's children to the country.
I think it's general, like you have it, the default, for you to use it right away, but then you can get in and make all these,
Right.
you know, your own.
And I don't know how, I don't know as far as support goes, how detailed it's gonna be for member libraries. I don't know how much will be able to be changed. I'm sure that Equinox and Steve will determine, okay, we can do certain things, however, we can't change. You know, certain things I'm sure will have to stay static because it's consortium one.
Right, and one of the things, why, you know, customization options will start off a little limited to begin with, I suspect, is that as far as what's going on underneath, at the moment, almost everything you do to configure K-PAC is, at the server level. There's an administrative interface like there is for so much of Evergreen. So that's why we started off with we wanted to design instead of like categories. Keeping it on customization. Part of this is just to get something available to all people.
You have any other questions, big questions?
We for these.
I think still working on images, right?
Yeah.
Trying to get the images done and make sure they look really good and.
You're gonna change the order to newest or relevance or something like that, so.
So they click on the category to be the newest copy, they click on those categories. They can find those easier.
And, you know, one of the things I should say about what K-PAC is actually doing, when you're clicking on the, you know, category, all that it's doing is either dropping you down to a list of more categories, like for the awards, going to Parkway, and so on, or it's just doing a search, limited to the juvenile programs, mark audience, of course. So it's nothing fancy under the hood, it's just doing a lot of searches.
So is it gonna search? The books that come up, is it first gonna bring up our books? Or or is there the ability to limit it to a certain system as opposed to going consortium wide in those buckets of fairy tales?
Yeah, and so, while, this needs to be finalized, what I strongly suspect will happen is that for each library's OPAC, we will start off scoped to that library.
Okay, and then they can widen it. a bit.
Which is how ours works, like, so when you pull up a super copy, it pulls up what we have.
Okay,
And then if we don't have it, they from here then can place a hold at another system.
how do you widen the search
Where
there?
does it say full collection? I'm just curious.
Sorry, I can't see it from here.
Next. there.
Right here.
Oh, okay, then that narrows it.
There's it within, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I was hoping there'd be one that, let me see if I can find one that we don't have a copy of to see what it does. They checked out, so that one says checked out. Okay, well. Well, I don't have my card with me. I don't, guys, I'm sorry. Let me log in. I know it's 382680000.
Most likely three.
I think so. I think they can. Yeah, I think they can. Let's pick up and choose a pickup library. So right now we may be set up to only place holds on our materials. So, and that might be something that, that might be a setting you can change as your system, that if you want them to be able to search consortium wide, which I thought was good, they can. Now, I'm assuming their parents then can get on the adult catalog, search the book, place a hold in the consortium. But right now ours is set to just our stuff.
Maybe somebody thought they didn't want kids going wild.
It could be, and it could just be something you missed.
And, since there will be, a consortium wide that gets set back, regardless of how we end up scoping the individual libraries that get specs. There would also be the option to jump to, add a thing to jump to Robert, it's right every K-PAC. Yes. Specific for each child.
That's a good point. Yeah, because this is not connected. I mean, this was just our test site for West Plains, and it could be why it's just focused on West Plains's collection, because it was just supposed to be tested in one library, which I'd say is why.
But, I think that can, definitely be done up to the libraries to choose so much that they want to expose.
Multiple branches.
Yeah, I mean, certainly, by default, if you're a system that has the branches, it would search the entirety of your system, not just.
Can you?
Yeah, it would be possible to,
Check something out today.
yeah, it would be possible to.
And it will probably list, like this had, it would probably list, I would think, with you, that it would, like mine said West Plains Public, it would probably have your branches there where it's available.
I think a total of like 50 images, right? 50 categories is what we were saying. But the top and then subcategories.
Well, top
counting
of this
those two.
subcategory, so very few top categories clicks, so like science may have several subcategories. Animals and, whatever.
Are you using subject headings too? Yes, partly.
Let me see if I can show that to you. You can see the subcategories. So here we go. So you can kind of get an idea of what the. So animals is the top category, then you can see here birds, insects, mammals, pets, reptiles, dinosaurs, other animals. And then you can jump even further down to. So you can kind of see what those categories are. We'll have science. So several science categories, oh, I'm sorry, that says series. Give me glasses. So several series categories. That Liz graciously did for us. Seasons and holidays.
We have a category like favorite character, Sesame Street characters.
Not as of now. It would have to live within series.
I'm guessing there would be an extra charge if you wanted to do this, or is it part of Evergreen?
I do not know the answer to that. That's a Galen or Steve question.
Right, so, certainly the default, is already Evergreen is paying for to provide to everybody. In terms of further customization, you want to do category selections or logos specific to you, then we need that to be the permit.
But the base would be,
The base would be something that, you got to pay for money.
You think it will have the carousel option?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so, to expand on what Rebecca just said, there will also be the ability for you to designate a carousel in Evergreen to show up in your KPAC page, for, highlighting. Children's.
So we have a children's carousel on our main website. So would it be the same as what was on this, or will this be different?
That the choice of which bigger carousel, they would be done up to the operating president.
What excites me is the ability, and again, I was an elementary librarian, but what excites me most about it is kids using on their own, which makes me really excited. They feel really empowered, they can come to the library instead of a computer and click on their stuff, find their book, and they come get you, oh, I want this book right here, and then you get to show them, this is where it's at, we go get it together, and it's just really neat to see kids being able to use that,
And it's a welcoming screen.
and it's a welcome screen.
And I will confess, well, debugging something, with the justice system and trying to figure out my paper title was showing up. I did briefly toy with the notion of having a mark record to display to the K-PAC. Just figured that Steve will probably start to throw it.
Liz is mortified, like her face.
Work for kids.
Mark for kids,
Baby
meet Mark, oh my
Baby
god, there could be a
Mark,
logo,
yeah.
meet Mark,
Mark.
let's work on that. I don't think meet Marky, that takes us back to Marky Mark in the nineties, it's a bad idea, we don't want kids to meet Marky. Give me more questions, I know this is very informal, I didn't have all the answers. I'm just the guy that got to do it first, and I was so privileged to get to do that, and again, our families were just very, very happy that we brought back the kids catalog, and I know yours will be too.
And it's only for. Library. Or is it go out? I believe it's.
You mean for the catalog searches, I think that will be up to your library, maybe when it can be personalized to decide, do you wanna look at the consortium, or do you wanna look at just your collection?
Okay.
or the uniformity that you accept the artwork that's provided. And the breakdown, so you get the marked way that shows them. You can't individualize each and every library, we're trying. What the committee's been doing is making it, because I sit on this committee.
Yep.
And trying to make it as broad and scope as possible to serve.
And I think we've done a really good job of, I think these categories are pretty universal categories. I think we did a good job of determining, okay, what would be the most popular things that we think that Rebecca and I thought working in schools that kids would gravitate toward. Just thinking about how we, when I genreified my children's collection, okay, how did I do that? What do kids really usually want to search for and look for? And so I think we did a good job of that.
Do our catalogers need to do anything extra?
They should already be putting awards in there. But I've been going back and putting awards in there when they're not there.
So how are you doing that? Is it a display or?
No, in the actual mark.
Yeah.
There's a field there that hopefully putting it in there.
How will we be notified of this?
I'm assuming Steve will send out an announcement, I would think, and I haven't talked to Steve about that yet, so I apologize, but I'm gonna assume that an email will go out consortium wide that K-PAC is not available for libraries that want to run it. I'll ask him today. Guys, thank you. We're done early, so you get a little bit of an extra break. If you have any questions later, holler, you can always email me, or call the library anytime. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Thank you.